Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another great edition of my Grue Rume Show. For my Grue Rume Show today, I got a very great guest. He's an actor and he makes films. He does stunts, and he was in American Ninja Warrior. I'm really looking forward to talking about all this stuff. His name is Cal. I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters. I am the host of the Grue Rume Show. And my interview with Cal will be coming up very soon. He's a Philly guy, just like me. And stay tuned, my Gruelings, for a fun interview. All right, buddy. Welcome to Gru, and thank you so much for being my guest today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. The first question I want to start asking you, I see that you actually were part of American Ninja Warrior. Is it a three-time finalist or a four-time?
Yeah, three-time finalist. I did the show four times. So yeah.
And how was that experience? How did you get picked to be in it? How did that whole process go? To be part of it.
Yeah. Oh man, it dates back a while. I did the junior show when I was a kid. I was 12 and 13, and it's a similar process for those. It's a reality show at the end of the day, right? So you send in an application, you answer a bunch of questions, and then you send in a video, kind of two parts. One, personality side. It's like, hey, I can talk to the camera and be charismatic and stuff like that, and I'm good on TV. And then the other part is a skills side. Just this is what I can do physically, and it shows you whether it's on obstacles or if you have a similar skill set like climbing or weightlifting, gymnastics, any of those. And you send in a video with all of the questions on the application. Then if they like you, they call you and say, hey, we want you on the show. And the experience of the show is unlike anything else I've got to experience. I mean, it's so cool. I love it so much because the community is really nice. So it's just a bunch of your friends, and we film overnight, and we'll be out in LA or Vegas usually, and it's just you and your buddies flipping their sleep schedules because you get there at 5:45 p.m. to the lot, and then you're there till 5, 6 a.m. a lot of the time. And it's it's so much fun though. It's intense, but it's just a blast because everybody's competing and we all work so hard and we train for it, but we genuinely want to see each other win too. Everyone's so sincere and supportive with each other. If somebody takes the fall, we're all there for each other. And if somebody hits a buzzer, it's like we're all just so happy to see each other's hard work paying off. So growing up with that community was great. And I think it taught me a lot about work ethic. But the show itself is like the hosts, Matt and Akbar, are the nicest people in the world. Everyone on set seems relatively relaxed. And it's just a really well done show, I think, for the most part. They put you up in a nice hotel. They feed you good. You get fun interviews. Yeah, it's really nice. It's really, really nice. And then competing, though, if we're talking the actual competition when you're up there, that's something. I think for me, every season it got a little bit less bad with the nerves, but it's one of these things where that's not the reality TV show part of it. They don't do all that, and that's all very real. It's you get one shot, of course, and that's it. However it's going to go is how it's going to go. If your foot slips and touches the water, that's it. And that's really, really scary because you can train and you can be great in your training, but sometimes you just slip and then you have an off day. So it's a little scary knowing that you have one shot, but hopefully you can trust in your training enough that you can relax and just play out there. And that's all my best performances have been when I've been relaxed and just enjoying the course because it's what I love to do. It's movement. It's like a big playground. I always say it's like monkey bars times 10. But competing it's like you got all these lights and the crowd. And I got great advice from someone, I don't remember who, but they said, enjoy the walk up to the start line. And I would see a lot of people, do whatever you want, run up, but I've always taken the time just to walk and look at every step and really see the audience. And that's, I do the acting stuff more now. And it's like, that's what I've always loved. I think about ninjas, that it does feel like a dance and like a performance. And
exactly.
I get to have so much fun playing off the audience and feeding off them, and their energy gives me energy. So I love to enjoy the walk up to the start line and just take everybody in and see the cameras and see the lights and know that I'm about to perform. And hopefully my training will pay off. So it's just a blast. I could talk about it all day.
Oh wow. And like I mean I've watched the show like a lot and
Yeah.
it looks like very in intense, like especially when you have to race against the clock and you have all the obstacles that
Oh
you have
yeah,
to run and
yeah.
and like just doing that, like you, it must be like a very intense feeling, like just doing that and hoping that you make it to the end and not like
Yeah.
slip up or anything.
And that's what will make you slip up is thinking about the end.
Yeah.
I've had, I think, at least two falls on the show where I'm like, okay, like I'm almost there, and then I and then I fall right there because
Oh
you're in the
no.
moment. You have to stay as much as you're on the third obstacle. Now you can see the buzzer at the end of the course sometimes, and you're like, I'm almost there, and then you stop focusing on the obstacle that you're doing, and then you're wet. You're like, what happened? So it's it. I will say, as hard as the lessons are and how much it hurts when you do fall, they're
Yeah.
always great lessons. And I feel like I rarely make those mistakes twice. And it has taught me a lot about being in the moment and having such attention to detail. Because that's a lot of what it is staying so present and focused. And I'm
Mhm.
glad I got to do that at such a young age just to teach me that.
Nice. Hey, I mean it looked great. Like if you could make if you could be a three-time finalist, then you're definitely doing something right.
Thank you. It's hard. It's just a lot. I think if you love it, it doesn't feel like training. At least
Hmm.
I am training and I'm working on my weaknesses, but it's just so much fun. Like you get to go out to the gym and play, and that's I feel like I'm bringing that same type of energy to my acting training now. It's just going up there, doing something you love. This you're putting all these hours and all this work, but it doesn't feel like it when you love it, and that's well, I want to do something with the rest of my life where I really really love the work, so that way it won't feel like work. You know,
That's what everybody wants, of
right?
course.
Yeah. Great.
And what was training like for that? Because like you definitely have to have cardio, like you definitely have
Yeah.
to have that up because when you're running around like that, the minute you get out of breath is the minute you fall in the water.
Uh, I'll tell you what, my cardio is like my weakest aspect. It's something I've never had. Even when I was a little kid, we would always run speed course training because I was a junior show. It was a side by side and it was a race. So
Okay.
I'd always run these courses and I would always be so out of breath whenever I would do them. I like to think of myself more as like a strength and power athlete, but training is pretty much it's what you make it. I know a lot
Yeah.
of people train very different ways, but for me, whenever show season is coming up, I'll do coursework. So it's very true. You have to find pretty much the show is so specific now. You used to get away with if you were a climber or a gymnast or a parkour athlete or something in that ballpark, you could just keep
Uh-huh.
doing that and kind of get away with being able to do those movements on the show. But now all of these obstacles are so specific and geared towards obstacle training. You have to get on some of these obstacles before you get on the show if you want a chance. So
Uh,
I'm Philly based. There's a good gym. There was a good gym. It's really sad. It was called Center Court, but it was an airlock, and they got a hole up in the airlock, and the whole thing just came down. So that was right for a while. Yeah, it's terrible. But there are a few gyms around here. Movement Lab, iCore. They're all cool with me saying their names and stuff. But they're ninja gyms, and they have obstacles from the show, like replica obstacles. They build these
mhm.
salmon ladder and like the warped wall. So we'll get into these gyms and just make courses that are similar to the ones on the show. Do speed courses, we'll do endurance courses and things like that, and just drill them until we feel good. And there are certain days where we do skill work, where it's like, okay, now we're going to max out warped wall or salmon ladder runs. So it just depends on what you want to work. But I think show season coming up, you got to train courses. At least I do because my cardio is worst. And then the off season, I like to look at that as fun time, and that's when I'm gonna be like, ooh, okay, can I do a 15-foot lache or something silly and fun? But training's great too. That's where the community is so there and present. I feel like even at the gyms, everybody pushes each other, and we got a lot of top athletes in this area specifically, and we love to challenge each other and just be like, "Ooh, can we make this even further? Can we get this course time even quicker?" So that's what I've always loved about the aspect of building each other up in community. I've had that. I've been fortunate enough to have that through Ninja Warrior since I was just a wee lad.
Well, you're definitely doing something right because you look amazing. Like you have an amazing build, and like what's like your workout routine like? Like is it do you like mix like weight training with like well different kind like how's your train like your typical like workout session like?
Oh man, thank you. By the way, I appreciate that. I it's a pretty consistent 5 days a week. I'll do 3 days in the weight room. I do a push pull legs. I feel like that's pretty standard, just weight training. Leg day, back and biceps, and then chest and triceps. I've been doing that since I'm 19 now. I've been doing that since I was 16, and that I
Oh,
think
wow.
builds me out. I just did ninja when I was a kid, and I was really scrawny. And now I remember my first year lifting, I put on like 20, 25 pounds of muscle, and I've looked pretty much the same since after my first year. But the weight training, I love weight training too. That's its own kick, and it's nice to feel like I can move things well and be big and strong and things like that. Yeah,
I love how you changed your voice for that. That was
um, then what else? So ninja training, I would do ninja training more seriously in the showtime. I do 2 days a week of ninja training, 3 days a week of lifting. I have had some joint complications just in the past for a while, honestly, but just with my shoulder more or less than anything for about a year now, which is annoying. But so in the ninja training has kind of been on and off with sometimes I'll go to a gym and do coursework and obstacles. Other times
Mhm.
there's a rock climbing gym by me. I'll go climbing. That can
Ooh.
be less intense. But then sometimes I fully need to take some time away from that and I'll switch out my ninja workouts with exercises that kind of hit the ninja muscles, like a forearm day and an ab day, and then just
Nice.
cardio on top of that. So sometimes I have to get creative. My body isn't loving doing all the super high intensity stuff. But yeah, yeah, that's sorry, long-winded answer, but that's
No, it's fine. Like I love hearing about it.
thank you.
And do you diet too? Like do you eat whatever you want or do you follow like a strict diet to stay like toned?
Rocco, I wish I was better about that. I like I feel very thankful that I've been lucky and I'm young and I have good metabolism genetics.
Yeah.
Yo, if you saw what I eat, it's so bad. It's so bad. I for a while, and I just did an athletic shoot with my great friend Sarah Dolhansky. She's a wonderful photographer, and she we just went back to my old stomping grounds, iCore Fitness, to do this athletic shoot, and I dieted for like 2 weeks before that shoot. The first time I
Really?
diet, I just cut out some carbs and I stopped eating. I would eat like Pop Tarts and cupcakes and all this stuff just every day for dessert and whatever. Because I'd be like, I already worked out today, it's fine. And I cut all that stuff out just for 2 weeks. And it did make a difference. It did. I could tell like it was a
Yeah.
little bit less fat, whatever. So I need to get back on that because it's been a week shoot and I've been taken out again. But no, I don't have a diet. I want to. I want to get back onto just what I did for those 2 weeks and cut out some carbs a little bit and stop eating terrible junk food. But as far as nutrition, I'm no one to ask.
So what are some of the foods you like pigging out on? Like what are
Oh
some of
gosh.
the junk food?
God, I pigging out on like guilty pleasures. I love fried chicken. I love pizza. And because I don't know, I just grew up. I feel like in a pretty standard American food household. Where my dad would grill and things like that growing up. So burgers are always great. But then healthier stuff like I've been getting into chicken and rice. I can do grilled chicken and stuff. But I need to just me and my family have a joke where it's just like I would never. It's not even a joke, but they joke about it because of how bad it is. I would never eat vegetables and have the palate of it. And I just last month have finally started green beans. So I'm yeah. So that's like the goal of this year is just to throw in some vegetables and maybe throw out some of the cupcakes. But yeah, any meat is like my favorite food group. Yeah, all that stuff. What about you? You like to pig out on that stuff?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I try to do the healthy thing. Like I will eat healthy a couple days a week, but then like I just like the bad stuff. Like I'm
Good.
Italian, so I
Uh,
like my pasta and my chicken
mm,
cutlets and
yeah. it's just too good not to enjoy. I don't know. Like you got to live a little.
Definitely, definitely. And you mentioned fried chicken. I absolutely love fried chicken, but I can't like look at it for too long because
It's
I'm
so
like I'm
good.
gonna eat it if I look at
Yo,
it.
my mouth is starting to water just thinking about it. It's so good. Uh,
I mean, we both live in Philly, so
yeah,
Philly has a lot of good spots to eat, and
yeah,
I mean, Philly's known for the cheesesteaks, of course,
yeah,
but there's
yeah,
there's so much other good food besides the cheesesteaks in Philly. It's like
yeah.
crazy.
I just got put on to some. My friends have been taking me out to try to expand my palate, and just got put onto some really good dim sum places around here.
Oh yes,
They're
yes.
really good. And that's just where I'm like, I need to broaden my horizons more because I only started eating stuff like that this year, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, but it's super good. It's super good. I was a terribly picky eater, and I still am, and I'm working on it. That's one of my goals this year is just get better at that.
Oh no, Charles, I'm an eater too. I'm a
Yeah.
foodie, so I totally get it. I totally get it. And I saw a video like you juggle too. Like I saw a video where
Oh
you were like
yeah.
walking and juggling tennis
Yeah.
balls and I was like, oh my gosh, so you're really good at this.
Thank you. Thank you. Uh, Juggling's fun. That's one of those, and I feel like there's a lot of these that I I call it like a 20-minute skill. I remember it was the beginning of 2023, and I was like, I'm gonna learn how to juggle. All New Year's resolution because the year before I said the same thing and I didn't do it. But it's one genuinely all I did. I started a 20-minute timer every day. I cut out some time, and at first I had two tennis balls or whatever, and I just learned how to do two of them. Because when it comes to not my body, like through Ninja, I can move my body really well, but
Yeah.
I suck at ball sports. Like anything, an object, I can't throw or catch at all. It's terrible.
Oh no.
It's really, really bad. But I was like, I want to get more coordinated. I want to get better at this stuff. So I taught myself, and it was really hard once you the first because your dominant hand will throw well, then your non-dominant just goes all over there. But once you get a little bit of the rhythm of it and you just stay consistent, 20 minutes a day, I could juggle decently in like 2 months, and then I kept doing it, and it was by the third, fourth month, I was starting to get tricks and stuff and be really comfortable at.
Oh my God.
So there are a lot of skills like that that I just picked up the ukulele. I've just been doing that for 20 minutes a day, and I can play that
Nice.
great. And nothing, I don't know, nothing else super crazy. But there are things where I'll be like, okay, I'm going to start setting timers just to get better at this, like handstands or skateboarding or other things. And it's consistency and working on your skills is the most important thing because I'm so guilty of being that guy who downloads Duolingo and is like, I'm going to learn Spanish and then never does because you just days and then you don't revisit the app. The owl gets all upset with you and you're like, I'm sorry. My friend's mom is like she knows Italian now because of Duolingo, and I'm like that's so sweet. I just wish
Oh,
with that. Yeah,
and do you play music? Like you mentioned, like do you get it? I can never say that, but you mentioned that,
yeah.
and like, do you play music too? Like, is that the do you play other
That
instruments as well?
that's something I've always been interested in. I think that was one of my first loves when I was a kid. Was always I was very drawn to music, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I played a little bass since I was 17,
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
yeah, I love the bass guitar. I love just any string instrument really is, I think is really beautiful. But ukulele it has been the most musically, just the most musical I've been. And like I started writing music again
Oh,
for the
nice.
ukulele. So I have a few songs, nothing crazy. I think I have like three completed songs that I can play on the ukulele, and I'm working on my fourth and my fifth right now. And it's something I would like to do just for fun, just around my friends, be able to play. And I think it's a nice creative outlet. But not anything I'm pursuing. I'm pursuing acting. That's my main love and passion and drive. But music is more just this ukulele. It's fun. It's fun, and it's a nice creative outlet more than anything.
Oh wow. And speaking of like film and television for acting, like what inspired you to want to get involved? Because it sounds like you like doing a lot of different things. So like
Yeah,
what
yeah.
what what inspired you for acting?
Oh gosh. What inspired me? That's a good question. I think I always credit it to two movies, and then there's kind of a backstory as to how I got into it. When I was 13 and 14, I saw Good Will Hunting and
Mm-hmm.
this movie, The Way, Way Back, both of which are probably still in my top five favorite movies to this day. But it was the first time I looked at the acting in a movie, and also probably one of the first times I remember being really, really moved by movies in both of these films. And I was just like, that'd be so cool to tell a story like that. And I thought they were so, I don't know, they just moved me. They really connected with me and touched me deep down. I was like, I would love to be able to do that and have the ability to tell stories like that with such sensitivity and attention to the moment. And then I owe all of it to my mom, really, more than anybody else.
Oh, wow.
Because I did the Ninja Warrior Junior, and I would light up in front of the camera, like, hey, what's up? Look at me. And maybe I just like talking about myself. I don't know, but she had never seen that out of me before. And she was like, you really like the camera. You should, what about acting? And I was like, yeah, I guess I'd be a movie star, like whatever.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
curious about it until I saw those movies, and I thought it was going to be really cool. And when I was 15, she posted this thing on Facebook, and not even seeking representation, but just asking about, hey, we're in Philly area. How do we get started with this whole acting thing? And then we got really, really lucky where an agent commented under it. And usually these guys on Facebook posts kind of tend to be sketchy, but this guy was not.
That's true.
Really legit. And we took a meeting with him, and I got signed to an agent when I was 15. And I got really, really lucky. And I owe all of that to my mom. That was entirely because she put out the post, and then it all got put together. So I love my mom. Super grateful to her for all of that. And then I started auditioning, but it wasn't really until my agent, he's based out in LA, he told me to start studying with Tony Savant at Playhouse West, Philadelphia, because he's out in LA and he used to teach my agent. So I started a school when I was 16, acting school at Playhouse West. And I was it's Meisner. So if you know anything about that, it's like all these people repeating each other. You're like, what's going on here? But then I saw a play at the school, and it was the first play I'd ever seen. I'd only seen films or terrible, I don't know, maybe high school productions or something. But it was the first good theater I'd ever seen, and I was so blown away and amazed. And I thought, these guys are taught by the same teacher as me. I'm young. I have a great agent. I have people in this community who are incredibly talented. I'm going to put everything I have into this just for a year and see how I like it. And it was the beginning of 2023 when I said that, and I put everything aside and just focused on acting as much as I could. And I loved it. I got deeper into the curriculum, and I just love doing the work so much, because Meisner is just the reality of doing and being in the moment and really living the experience of the scene or of the story that you're telling. So I would pick up these scenes, and I found that I was really drawn to dramatic material. And it's such I don't know, it's such a gift to be able to feel something and put yourself through an experience truthfully and live something out with somebody or alone. I think it's so, it just brings me to life. And if I can move somebody with a story that I'm telling, and somebody can relate to that and feel something, I love that. I love that so much. And that's such a wonderful thing to be able to do. So I'm just trying to get better at that every day.
I saw like one of your posts. I'm guessing it's a film that you're in where it looked like a horror film where you're covered in blood and you have like a bone coming out of your mouth and stuff. Ooh, like, what is that? Is that a horror film that you were shooting?
Yeah. This is a horror film. Echo Point, Evan. I don't want to mispronounce his last name. Evan Markakowitz. Sorry if I mispronounced your last name, homie. Don't be mad at me. But Echo Point, it's a feature film. Shot it up in New York. I just had you'd have to watch the movie to see, but I had a small part that was more or less stunts. And
the Axeman, right? Isn't that
what
you were called in that? Yeah.
So yeah, believe it or not, I might come around with an axe. Who knows? But I don't want to say too much. I don't want to spoil the movie or give anything away, but it's a lot of fun. That movie was just it was my first real stunt type of gig, and that was my first dream when I was a kid, was to be a stuntman. So that was really cool.
Oh,
A childhood dream coming true and doing that. But it was wonderful crew, wonderful cast, and it was just so much fun. It was just fun. Like we choreographed the entire sequence and played around with it a lot, and it was great. Good vibes all around. I'm excited to see the finished picture, but it's set around this young man in a cabin, and gosh, I don't want to give anything away with the movie. You just have to watch it. I think it'll be coming out next year. I could be wrong,
all right.
but I'll keep it posted on my socials. Cal Tolentino, Echo Point, all that coming out when it does. So stay tuned.
And you've done like a bunch of shorts too. So is there a short film you might have had the most fun doing out of all of them?
Oh, most fun? Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. They're all so much fun. Well, not all of them. Sometimes you have not so fun experiences, but a lot of them are really fun just because I love to act. I think this one, and probably some of my work that I'm most proud of so far, is this one, Scatterbrain. It was a Rutgers senior thesis film.
Oh,
Again, I may be mispronouncing his last name, but Alex Pasquale, sorry. And this guy is just a really, really hard worker. He wrote it, directed it, DP'd it, which means like he shot the film, and so he did everything except act in it. And he was just a wonderful director and really knew how to talk to us. It was me and these two other guys I was supporting, and everyone was just it's just a relaxed set. Everyone was there having a good time. We were just playing, and it was a fun, really unique, heartfelt story that I was glad that I got to be a part of. And that was one of those. It was just any relaxed set, as long as it's been well planned and things have been accounted for. Obviously, on set, like things go wrong, that just happens. But even when things did go wrong, it was always handled very gracefully, and I never felt like any stress was being put on people. So
okay.
felt like a really great way to make a film. And Alex in particular had such a clear vision, and it was just great to bring that to life because he was so specific and detailed in what he wanted. I think that makes a great director, is his specificity and vision.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, they know what you want, right? Or what they yeah, so that one, Scatterbrain, was great. There's this one that I'm really excited for. It's a proof of concept, I believe, for a feature. It's Sirens Unbound, and Sirens Unbound : echoes of a Gothic or the Gothic. I might have it wrong, but super cool title. Jordan Fox, young director out of New York, and this script I had never read anything like it. It was really, really cool. So I play this character called the Artist. And the artist, yeah, I don't have a name, I'm just the artist. I'm like this fun sort of like pretentious artist, and I just know things. And it was a fun character to mess around with. So that one was not going to come out for a little while, but I could tell on set the production value was really nice. The DP, the camera work all looked super, super great. And everyone really knew what they were doing. They were on time. They showed up. And it was, just a bunch of young, hungry, hardworking people out of New York. And doing a film up in New York always makes me feel like magic. I was, and like, welcome to New York. I don't know, from the place.
yes.
Enjoying myself up there. I feel like I'm living the dream. But that one is going to be really, really cool. I'm excited for that one. So those two experiences were great, but there's so many others that I'm just thankful for.
Sweet, man. And when you aren't doing film and shorts and acting, like what do you like doing during your free time?
Oh man, during my free time, I don't know. I make acting my life, really. I love just there's other acting related stuff like watching movies. I like to write a lot too. I think acting and writing go really hand in hand. So I write one act plays or short films. Then just hang out with my friends. I dabble a little bit. I'm not very good at skateboarding and just I don't know, hanging out with my friends or my girlfriend, or I'm trying to think. I really do need more of a life outside of acting. I think my big things are just acting, the arts, and movement. I love exploring my body through movement.
Yeah.
It's so much fun just to be able to play and run around on things. But when I'm not working or acting or exercising, I don't know. I think I'm just relaxing.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you're doing a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, we're just enjoying food too, picking out.
I like I said, I love food. I'm a
Yes,
foodie. I always ask my guests this when I have them on. I'm a big horror movie guy, so are there any horror films that you like to watch?
oh my gosh. I'll be so honest with you. I'm such a wimp. I'm getting better. I'm getting better as I'm getting older, but that's I think the main genre I need to dip my toes into more, just because it's not as bad lately, but when I was a kid, I would scare bad.
Oh,
And I
okay.
have such a wild imagination. I will still be very scared, I'm sure, if I do watch a movie and then like turn the lights off and like run to get under the covers where I'm safe or something. But for me, I love Silence of the Lambs is great.
Oh yeah,
I feel like that's a very classic answer, but for good reason. I mean, the performances in that movie are so good.
definitely,
Um,
definitely.
so that one, and I'm trying to think of any other horror movie. I don't know, like I don't know if this fully counts because it's not very scary, but I think the movie is so well done because of how aware of itself it is. Like the OG Scream.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that movie is so good. And just all of it. I mean, it gets referenced so much today and just other
hmm
anything pop culture, and I think it had a really big influence on the next generation of films to come, and just the way that it was done. It was really Matthew Lillard in that movie is so everyone in that movie is great. But
uh,
I love Scrooge. Like that's a movie I would love to be in, like that type of world.
like Scream or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
if you got a script like that handed to you and you got to play one of those roles, I mean, that's just a playground.
Oh yeah, of
So,
course.
so yeah, then I have a horror movie that I'm about to film later this month called Final Act that I'm excited
Oh,
about.
nice.
So that one is I don't think I can say a lot about it because we're not filming yet. But that one is I'm just excited for that one, and that's why I'm gonna go on a little horror movie binge and start watching more of those guys because I got cast in a horror movie. So now I'm like, okay, I need to figure out what this world is like.
Right? Yes. I mean, this is your second horror film now, so you have to dabble in it.
Right? Do you have any recommendations? Do you have horror movies that you like?
I mean, the classics are good. You can't go wrong with them, like
Yeah,
Halloween, Friday
yeah,
the 13th, A
yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street,
Oh,
Chucky,
never mind.
the killer doll Chucky.
Yeah.
Um, the Terrifier films, I don't think you're ready for them yet because it's very
Right.
gory.
Like I was a wimp. One day.
What do you think would be your go-to karaoke song if you were going to do one?
Funky Town.
Oh,
Funky.
wow.
Yeah.
You already have it. Okay.
Anytime I think karaoke, that's just the first song that my brain goes to. I have a lot. I love music. I have a lot of other ones I could jump to, but no, I just think about like, won't you take me to? Like just going up there and being goofy. I love Funky Town. It's always a funky time.
What kind of music do you like? Like, what kind of stuff is on your playlist?
Oh, everything. And not to be one of those guys who's like everything. They only listen to two genres, but genuinely, I like. Man, it's been a lot of. I feel like I can get down with anything except for modern pop and country. I don't love those ones, but even so, like there's some modern pop. I can get down with Harry Styles and Billie Eilish and Taylor Swift and all
Yeah.
that. Those are jams, but
Swifty.
yeah, I wouldn't call it
I know.
89 and Red bangers, good albums. But I think as far as country goes, like I'll go into Johnny Cash. He's great, and Leonard Skinner, even though that's kind of just rock and roll with a southern accent. But
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, right. I don't know. I love Bob Dylan. He's one of my favorites. Bowie, Zeppelin. I guess a lot of like the more classic stuff, but I also
Yeah, yeah. I was just gonna say that you like a lot of the classic bands.
yeah, I love the classic bands. I think, and I credit that to my dad. It's he always put me on in the car. He would listen to really good stuff like Elton John and the Stones, and yeah,
Nice.
I'm glad that I feel like I've always had good friends who put me on to good stuff. Like I've been listening to a lot of classical music lately. Like just what's his no wait no I don't know like way classic stuff like Bach and Beethoven and stuff like that. And that's just fun to listen to. It's good study music or jazz like Miles Davis is a beast.
Hmm.
Pearson on the piano, Ella Fitzgerald, Louis Armstrong. But I could go on about music all day. It's one of those things I really love. Like psychedelic rock is cool too. Jimi Hendrix,
Oh, nice. Yes.
and then rap as well. Like I'm still like a 19-year-old. I still listen to my I don't know rappers and stuff like that. But yeah, nothing. I don't know. I'm very. My playlist is like 3,000 songs, and then it's like I'll shuffle it, and it'll go from Nancy Sinatra to Lil Uzi Vert, and it's very, it's very all over the place.
I mean, you say you like classic band. Do you know like in Philly, Eric Clapton and Rod Stewart's also coming, and the Who, like
Oh, really?
all three of those classic bands are actually coming to Philly soon.
I didn't know that. No, I'm
Yeah,
not. Sure that. I was fortunate enough. My dad took me to a Who concert, and
nice.
great. They were really, really good. And that's just I don't those that's really cool and I think inspiring just to watch them still kicking it. They were sounded so good and they all had so much life in them.
Oh
So
my God, I
yeah,
know it was sick.
yeah. Talk
Uh,
about this, I wish I knew his name, but the Who's bassist is all those songs have great bass lines.
yes, yes, definitely, definitely.
Yeah,
I, I'm a big fan too of like classic bands and all that stuff. Like it's yeah,
yeah.
it's so much fun.
They're great. They're great. I don't think it gets much better than that. And maybe like 60s to 90s era.
Mhm, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
And I know you have like an audition and stuff. I'm gonna ask like one final question. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if you're into like Marvel and DC and all that. Do you have a favorite superhero and villain?
Oh man. I'm I have no shame in being this cliche. It's been Spider-Man since I was a kid, but I feel like
I love
I've
Spider-Man.
worn to say that because I always loved climbing stuff. So it's I always felt like a little Spider-Man whenever I first did. I used to climb the molds of like those doorway molds. I used to climb them around my parents' house and stuff like that, and they would always tell me to get down from the trees and whatever. So I just felt really connected to Spider-Man. I wanted to be Peter Parker. And villain, that's one that I haven't thought about so much, but hmm, that's a good question. I never think about my favorite villain. When I was a kid, it was Spider-Man and Venom. I thought Venom was really, really cool. But
Venom's awesome. Venom's awesome.
anyone in the Spider-Man universe, like the Lizard was super cool, the Green Goblin was great. But I think I don't even know favorite villain. I would have to really, really think about that. It might be now, current day, as I haven't been super involved like in the superhero movies, but it might be honestly the Green Goblin. Just maybe because I'm so
Okay.
well, and this is because I don't know the comic books or anything like that, but maybe because I love Willem Dafoe. And
William Dafoe killed that.
yeah, and he's so express. There's no one like him with his
I
face,
know.
the way that he can contort it. It's so I don't know. Just as an actor, I look at that and my jaw drops, and I just think that's the most impressive thing. So maybe the Green Goblin for Willem Dafoe's performance, or that's the only one I can really think of. And then there were so many classic Jokers too over the years as
Of
well.
course.
So yeah, anyone in that ballpark or area.
Nice, nice. And where can fans follow you at?
My socials are Cal Tolentino on Instagram. It's got an underscore at the end, but it's just Cal Tolentino underscore. And then trying to think if I have any other socials. I think my Twitter is Tolentino. I don't really use Twitter. I don't know why I'd flag that. But yeah, pretty much just my Instagram is Cal Tolentino underscore, and then hopefully I'm gonna be getting all my other stuff set up under Cal Tolentino name. So just if you look that up, hopefully that should be me, and I'll pop up. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it was very nice meeting you. Like, you're really awesome. Like, it was really fun.
Thank you. Yeah, you're a great host. You asked a lot of great questions, and just I really appreciate you for having me. Seriously, it's been a blast.
Definitely, man, definitely. And from one Philly guy to another.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, but I know you got stuff to do, so thanks again for doing this.
Thank you for having me. Seriously, I appreciate it. All right. Hey,
Bye.
good one.
You too.